What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Matthew Putterman. I'm here with Mike Biggie Rhodes, who will be fighting on May 31st at LFA 68. And Mike, thank you so much for joining me today, man. Of course, how you doing?
Good, man. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Of course. Well, let's first start off. How did this fight materialize?
I was supposed to fight Alton Cunningham. Big showdown, big fight for me. Big name. You know what I mean? He's got a little hype behind his name, so I wanted that fight. But, you know, he got a better opportunity, so respect to him for taking it. But, you know, went through like 5 or 6 different names. You know, kudos to LFA for, you know, sticking with me, wanting me on the card, and finding this guy, Torres, who, you know, wanted to fight. He stepped up, so much respect to him. But I'm just trying to catch another body, put a win on my record.
Definitely. Well, this fight's at 205 pounds. Most of your fights have been at 170 and also 185. Why do you decide to go to 205?
I think, man, just as a fighter, and you see it a lot now, guys are not cutting as much weight as people were, you know, a couple years ago. I know there's still some people out there who do, but, you know, my coach thinks that, you know, 205 can be the weight class for me. I'm naturally a bigger guy. Even when I was fighting at 170, I was, you know, walking around 230 pounds, you know, dieting and then cutting the weight. So I think, you know, I'm not a young kid anymore. I've been doing this for a while, and when I start to lift and do stuff like that, my body can change, and I think that 205 can work out for me. You know, I think I'll be more athletic, I'll be faster, and I'm pretty skilled, so I think it works.
Definitely. Well, I mean, you fought some of the best fighters in the world. You fought in some of the biggest organizations in the world, the UFC, ACB, Bellator. With that experience, how is that going to help you out in your next fight?
Honestly, I think just being ready for any kind of opponent. You know, like you said, I fought some of the better guys in the world. I fought for some of these bigger organizations, and, you know, those fights didn't go my way. But, you know, I think they were a chance to, you know, learn about myself and figure out how I can fight and how different styles and, you know, the time and the things that I need to do to be a better fighter. So those experiences are, you know, they're with me in my career, and so I'm just looking to put it all to work and, you know, get victories now, put a win streak together.
Definitely. Well, you even fought the current UFC middleweight champion, Robert Whittaker. You did fight him at 170. How is the transition different going to weight classes? Of course, you moving up. And how was it fighting a champion Robert Whittaker?
I think he was probably one of my tougher fights. I think it was one of the funner fights that I've had in my career, even though that I lost. I much respect to Rob. He's a super nice guy. We still talk to this day. And even that night, he told me it was his last fight at 170. Probably should have been my last fight at 170, but, you know, I kept going after that, and I fought for a while at that weight class, and I just can't make it anymore. And I think going up, the guys are, you know, bigger, but I'm a big guy. They're stronger, but I'm a strong guy. So, and I think that my technique is better than a lot of these guys at the upper weight class, and a lot of these guys, period. So my goal is to use those aspects and put my technique together and make myself a better fighter at the bigger weight class.
Definitely. Well, I always wanted to know, I'm just from a fighter's perspective, I always wanted to know this question. What motivates you more, coming off a loss or coming off a win? You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, honestly, that's a tough question,
Yeah.
just because when you lose, you never want to lose. So then that loss motivates you a lot. But, like, if you're not motivated after a win to keep winning, I think you need to change and adjust your mindset. But definitely after a loss, your hunger's there. We don't want to be losers. And, you know, they say you're only as good as your last fight, you know, because people have short-term memories. They forget how good you were or your last win. So when you come off a loss, you want to get that taste out of your mouth. So I think that makes you want to win more. But if you're not wanting to win every fight, because, you know, it's a cliche, but every fight is your biggest fight, because, you know, you don't get that second half of that check when you lose. You don't get the fame. You don't get to move up the ladder. You're taking steps backwards.
Definitely. Well, I know you personally as well. You're the head striking coach and jiu-jitsu coach over at Pettis Martial Arts. Have you ever thought, I mean, you've been fighting for a long time, and you fought on the big show and stuff like that. Has thoughts ever gone through your mind that maybe I would like to just be a coach and not be a fighter? Has that ever come up in your mind?
No, not yet.
Okay.
I really do enjoy coaching. I enjoy teaching. But at a certain level, I have to be selfish with fighting. You know, you can only do it for so long. And I still believe, you know, I didn't start fighting until I was 21. You know, so I've been doing it, you know, I'm going to be 30 at the end of this year. I've been doing it for a while now, but I'm still young in this fight game. I have 17 fights. as a professional, and I feel like I still have a lot more to learn and a lot more to give to the sport, and to do that you have to be selfish. So I couldn't be a full-time coach at this moment. I know I coach like the classes and stuff like that, but my fighters come over here to Rufus Sport and train. As far as their MMA goes, they take their regular classes under me, and I think I can do a good job with that and balancing being a fighter. But being a full-time coach, I don't think I'm ready for that just yet, because I'm not ready to put down the gloves. And when I walk away from fighting full-time, then I can coach full-time.
Most definitely. Well, let's talk a little bit about your upbringing. Of course, you come from, I believe, Iowa. Is that correct?
Correct.
Can you like just talk about how your upbringing was, and of course, where did you go to? You went to college as well, and you played other sports. If you could elaborate more on that, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, I'm from Waterloo, Iowa, man. We like to say middle of the map.
Yeah.
You know, people think it's all cornfields. It's not. We're smushed in between some cornfields,
Yeah.
but just inner city youth, man. Growing up, how thousands and millions of people grow up across the country. You know, don't have a lot. You know, got to work for everything that's yours or everything you want in life, and so that teaches you a lot early on. You know, and I think it helped me in sports. You know, like you said, I was able to make it to college. I played junior college basketball at Ellsworth Junior College. You know, just off pure hard work. You know, I wasn't the most skilled, but I developed skill sets to make me, you know, a person that they wanted on their team. And so just doing that, and then that transferred into fighting. You know, not being the best athlete all the time, but having to work and build my skill set helped me to get to where I am now. You know, and that's the reason why technique is so important to me, is because it takes away a lot of the other aspects of fighting and other sports. You know, not everyone's going to be the best athlete, but that doesn't mean you can't be the best fighter or be the most skilled fighter. So I think my upbringing helps in how I fight and how I carry myself and just how I present myself. You know, I want to be a role model for kids who come from where I come from and grew up how I grew up. You know, and obviously there's bigger names, but I got to do my part. You know, it's a small part right now, but it can get bigger as I grow and as I put myself more in the limelight, you know, with my training, with my fighting.
Definitely. Well, of course, you're training at Rufus Sport. You've been training here for years. What's made you want to stay at this camp, and how has this gotten to your success level? How has this gotten you to where you need to be?
Honestly, you know, it's one of the best gyms in the world, if not the best gym in the world. I mean, our striking coach, Duke Rufus, is, you know, it speaks for itself. Yeah. Scott Cushman, Daniel Verdelay with our jiu-jitsu, and then just look, all my teammates, you know, behind us right now, you know, 2 world champions, Anthony Showtime Pettis, Tyron Woodley over there, you know, Ben Askren was here for a long time and still trains with us. You know, and just look at the caliber of fighters that come out of here. You know, we can only make each other better if one is better. You know what I mean? Like, how do you know what the next level is if no one around you is at that next level? Mm-hmm. So I feel like we help each other out because we keep showing each other, hey, there's another rung on that ladder. You just got to keep climbing it. And here, it's always been that way with every aspect of MMA. Yeah. And I don't think you'll find a team around that's better than us and that has more talent than we have and better coaches. You know, I think we put it together great.
Most definitely. Well, Mike, I really do appreciate you joining me today. It's nice to see you again as always. And make sure you guys tune in on May 31st, LFA 68. He'll be fighting at 205 pounds. He'll be making his return to the LFA cage. And Mike, if you want to give any shout outs to any sponsors, anything like that, you can go ahead. The floor is yours.
First of all, I just want to say thank you to LFA for the opportunity, giving me a chance to get back on Access TV and, you know, start that path back to where I want to be, which is the bigger shows. And the LFA is, you know, one of the bigger ones, and they're a feeder to the UFC. So very thankful for that. Thankful to my coach, Duke Rufus. You know, Scott Bienborg, who puts on the show in Minnesota, for helping to get that matchup for me. My management, Sucker Punch. And just all my sponsors. I'll tag all you guys in the videos. I don't want to leave anybody out. So just thank you to all my fans, friends, and family that have been supporting me through my entire career and continue to do so. It's greatly appreciated, and I can't wait to put on a show for you guys. For
sure. Well, again, make sure you guys tune in May 31st, LFA 68. He'll be fighting again at 205 pounds. He'll be making his return to the LFA cage. You guys make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel at Matthew Putterman. Also follow me on Instagram at Putt6, Putt6. Thank you guys. Have a great day and stay blessed.
Bam!